Chapter 5: Food for Plants and Animals. We will learn food for plants, food for animals, food chain, food web, balance in nature. We all depend upon both plants and animals, but they both are interdependent on each other. We eat plants and animals, but what do they eat? Foods for plants. Food gives us energy to work. Plants also need energy. How do plants get the energy they need? How do they get food? Have you ever seen a plant eating food? No. This is because plants make their own food. Green plants are the only creation of nature that can prepare their food on their own. The roots of a plant takes in water from the soil. The stem carries the water to the leaves. The leaves of a plant take in a gas called carbon dioxide from the air. Chlorophyll, which gives the green color to the leaves, traps the sunlight. Thus, plants use water and carbon dioxide to make food in the form of glucose. The energy for making food is obtained from sunlight. The process of making food is called photosynthesis. Water plus carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight or chlorophyll will release out glucose plus oxygen. Green leaves are called food factories or kitchens of plants. Therefore, only plants that contain chlorophyll can make their own food. Plants are called producers or autotrophs as they produce their own food. A cactus plant does not have leaves, so food is prepared in its stem. Fact file: mushrooms and molds are non-green plants. They do not have chlorophyll, so they cannot make their food. They feed on dead and decaying matter. Insectivorous plants. Plants that feed on insects for their food are called insectivorous plants. They are green plants which grow in soil that is poor in nitrogen. To fulfill this nitrogen requirement, they trap and eat insects. Venus flytrap, sundew plant, and pitcher plant are some insectivorous plants. Venus flytrap has jaw-like leaf trap. When insect touches the hair of the leaf, the jaw shuts in a fraction of a second. At once, the plant secretes juices which digest the insect. Pitcher plant has leaves having the shape of a pitcher. As an insect sits on the pitcher, its lid closes and the insect drowns in the digestive fluid present in the pitcher. Sundew plant has a gel-like substance at the tips of the tentacles that cover the leaves. If an insect flies too close to these, it gets stuck to the plant and is then digested. Fact file: Cuscutter or the dodder plant, commonly known as amarbale, is a non-green plant. It develops roots that pierce the host body to draw food from it. Such plants are called parasitic plants. Food for animals. Unlike plants, animals cannot make their own food. All the animals, including human beings, depend directly or indirectly on plants for their food. Therefore, they are called consumers or heterotrophs. Animals can be classified into different groups on the basis of their food habits. Herbivores. Animals that eat only plants are called herbivores. They are also called primary consumers. For example, cows, deer, buffaloes, goats, etc. are some herbivores. Carnivores. Animals that kill other animals and eat their flesh are called carnivores. They are called secondary consumers. For example, lions, tigers, cheetahs, foxes, leopards, wolves, etc. are some carnivores. Omnivores. Animals that eat both plants as well as the flesh of other animals are called omnivores. Humans, crows, cockroaches, bears, etc. are omnivores. Scavengers. Animals that eat the flesh of dead animals are called scavengers. Jackals, hyenas, vultures, etc. are scavengers. Parasites. Animals that depend on other animals for food are called parasites. They live on or within the body of other animals. Mosquitoes, leeches, roundworms, and hookworms are some parasites. Food chain. All living things depend on other living things for their food and existence. The flow of energy from the sun to the plants and then to other animals by the process of eating and being eaten is called food chain. The three main components of a food chain are producers, consumers, decomposers. Example: food web. Many animals eat more than one kind of food, so different kind of linked food chains exist in nature. The network of interconnected food chains is called a food web. For example, a goat may eat plants or grass. A tiger may eat a goat or a rabbit. This results in the interlinking of various food chains and forms of a food web. Balance in nature. We know that all living things depend on one another. It is very important to maintain a balance between plants and animals. An imbalance, if caused, disturbs the whole food chain. To maintain the balance, both plants and animals need to be protected. Keywords: autotrophs, plants that produce their own food; insectivorous plants, plants that feed on insects for their food; herbivores, plant-eating animals; carnivores, flesh-eating animals; omnivores, animals that eat both plants as well as flesh of other animals; scavengers, animals that eat flesh of other animals; parasites, animals that live on or within the body of other animals for their food. Food web, the network of interconnected food chains. Points to recall: the process by which green plants prepare their food is called photosynthesis. Plants prepare their food with the help of carbon dioxide, water, green pigment called chlorophyll, and sunlight. Venus flytrap, sundew plant, and pitcher plant are the examples of insectivorous plants. Animals can be classified into different groups on the basis of their food habits: herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, scavengers, and parasites. The flow of energy from the sun to the plants and then to other animals by the process of eating or being eaten is called food chain. Many food chains are interlinked to form a food web.